Italy is experiencing multiple types of extreme weather at once, with the north being battered by deadly storms and the south being scorched by sweltering heat. Early in May, Emilia-Romagna's coastal region was twice hit. First, by heavy rain that could not be absorbed by the ground and overflowed riverbanks overnight. Then, by a deluge that resulted in 13 deaths and billions in damage. More than 10,000 people left their homes, some being picked up by rescue helicopters from rooftops or balconies, and others being transported on dinghies. Heavy rains earlier this month caused the drought-stricken region to estimate losses of around €1 billion, but Stefano Bonaccini, the regional president, said the losses have now increased to multiple billions due to extensive damage to farmland, storefronts, and infrastructure. Italians must adapt to the new normal of extreme weather events in the Mediterranean, according to Civil Protection Minister Nello Musumeci, who also urged Italy to reconsider its national flood defences. He cited a violent storm-induced landslide that killed 12 people last autumn on the southern island of Ischia, off the coast of Naples. He said, "We can't just act like nothing is happening. Everything must change. The engineering approach must change, the programming in hydraulic infrastructures must change." He claimed that those adjustments are required to stop the kinds of floods that have caused 24 rivers to overflow their banks, engulfing entire towns in mud. He stressed that prevention is crucial to moving forward, but acknowledged that applying this idea due to costs is difficult. "We are not a nation inclined to prevention. We like to rebuild more than to prevent," he explained in an interview. Italy is not the only country to suddenly experience a deluge. A record-breaking mega-drought in California and the western United States was sloshed out by at least a dozen atmospheric rivers, which drenched the state with so much rain that a long-dormant lake reappeared. According to climate scientist Gabe Vecchi of Princeton University, the rainiest events seem to be getting rainier in many places. Italian authorities report that 6 people have died as a result of extreme weather just on July 25, 2023. In the early hours of the morning of July 25, severe storms hit northern Italy, and 2 people were killed by falling trees. Wildfires on the southern island of Sicily and in the coastal city of Reggio Calabria resulted in the deaths of 4 elderly people. After storms caused extensive damage in the area, the fire department in Italy reported that they responded to 400 emergency calls for broken windows, roof damage, flooding, and fallen trees. Small towns in northern Italy were pummeled by hail the size of golf balls on Friday as the area recovered from a week of extreme heat that saw temperatures reach as high as 116 degrees. A video shared on social media on Friday showed streets in Serengo, a town north of Milan, being inundated with icy water. Luca Zaia, the governor of the Veneto region, reported that the hail that fell was absolutely out of the ordinary, with stones of ice that in some cases had diameters of over 10 centimeters or about 4 inches. Tornadoes, strong winds, and other severe weather have recently wreaked havoc in northern Italy. 100 people were hurt last week when tennis ball-sized hail fell in the Veneto region. The south is sweltering under an extreme heat wave as storms disrupt the north. While Italy was experiencing an anticyclone named Cerberus that caused temperatures to rise above 40 degrees Celsius, Stefano Bonaccini, a cleaner, was cleaning shelves in a supermarket in Florence that sold farm products just a few hours before he passed away on July 13. The 61-year-old had earlier in the day complained to family members that the heat was making it difficult for him to work and that he felt tired. The next day, his day off, he was looking forward to sleeping in. When Bonaccini's shift ended at 3 p.m., he was discovered slumped in the locker room. His niece Sarah Bonaccini recalled that the temperature in the locker room was 39 degrees when they discovered him. He passed away before being taken to the hospital. Her uncle had been working in the greenhouse section of the supermarket, which lacked air conditioning. He had heart issues, so a heart attack could have happened at any time, but the heat undoubtedly didn't help, she continued. The temperature was really high and he was a person who had heart problems, she said. It was a terrible way to pass away alone and at work. Olmostroni is one of 5 individuals in Italy whose deaths over the past week are thought to have been triggered by the extreme heat, as a more intense anticyclone, Coronti, broke a temperature record in Rome and pushed the temperature to almost 47 degrees Celsius in Sicily. The actual death toll almost certainly exceeds that number. On Monday, temperatures in some areas of Sicily reached 47.4 Celsius (117.3 Fahrenheit), coming very close to the continent's all-time high temperature of 48.8 Celsius, which was set in 2021. The environment is being prepared for fires by the heat. These fires have already claimed at least 1 life. An 88-year-old woman from Sicily died outside Palermo as one of the 4 people killed by wildfires, a government spokesperson told CNN. According to CNN affiliates KTG24, the woman, who had serious health issues, passed away because doctors could not reach her due to the wildfires. According to the Italian Fire Brigade, more than 40 fires broke out in Sicily on Monday night, including one at the Bello Lompo landfill that released toxic fumes. A number of homes have been damaged, and more than 1,500 people have been evacuated from the affected area. The fires on Tuesday forced the closure of Palermo's Falcone Borsellino airport for several hours. However, the airport reopened later that morning, allowing major airlines flights to land and take off with significant delays. The Palermo Airport Authority claims that the majority of low-cost airlines have been rerouted to the airport in Trapani. According to the Catania Airport Authority, service at Sicily's other major airport has been restricted following a fire in one of the terminals there last week. Based on Reuters, Catania has also experienced power and water supply interruptions, possibly as a result of the intense heat. A large fire started in San Felice Bay in Veste, forcing the evacuation of 2,000 more people from 3 hotels in the Puglia region. We are living one of the most complicated days of the last decades. Storms, tornadoes, giant hail in the north, torrid heat and devastating fires in the center-south. While we mourn the 3 victims of these 24 hours, I feel I have to thank the firefighters, the civil protection managers and volunteers, the police forces, the forestry workers, and all those who are mobilized in the most difficult trenches, Civil Protection Minister Nello Musumeci in a tweet. Scientists agree that extreme weather events like heat waves and storms will only increase in frequency and intensity as the human-caused climate crisis worsens. According to a study released on Tuesday, the recent heat wave in southern Europe would have been virtually impossible without climate change. Italy is especially vulnerable because it is situated in the Mediterranean, a region that is experiencing rapid climate change. Climate change has been getting out of control since years ago, and now people are paying for their lives as an indirect result of humanity's actions. Italy is just one of the numerous places where we can now experience those changes in a more impactful way. Did this catch your interest? Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you want to know more and be updated on the latest news about natural calamities or disasters happening all over the world, and don't forget to like today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.